So let's cover this really important topic of vitamins. Obviously, vitamins and minerals make up the micronutrient component of our nutritional understanding, or just nutrition in general. And having a bit more of an understanding, cutting through some of the myths or hysteria or misconceptions, really helps us make better informed choices when it comes to how we approach our nutrition. And obviously, all of this is our pursuit of optimal health, well-being, body composition, performance. So I'll just quickly start by prefacing this that there's really a broad spectrum in terms of both the literature and general focus on the importance of vitamins and minerals. On one end, you've got supplement companies, usually owned by guys with slick back hair and big gold chains, that will tell you that you absolutely need to take 10,000 products every single day if you want to keep living. Not true. There's also another end group, the other end of the spectrum, who will tell you that you absolutely don't need to take any of supplements when it comes to vitamins or minerals, because you can secure all that you need through a well-balanced diet. Also not true. Whilst our pursuit of securing better quality foods, game meat, game, not gay, doesn't mean happy, joyous, or sexual preference, game, wild, animals that are eating a diverse range of foods and living a natural life, or at least grass-fed, trying to make some educated choice about where we're securing our animal proteins from, but also our fruits and vegetables. Are these organic, or are these sourced from manufacturers, agricultural producers who have a better quality control and consistency of a product with a little bit more integrity behind it? So that's where we sort of sit. The truth is somewhere in the middle. We want, in our pursuit of optimal health and vitality, we want to make sure that we're getting the best amount of vitamins from our food, but also having an understanding that there's a very strong argument for further supplementation of these. And the simple reason is, when it comes to micronutrients, vitamins and minerals, these are responsible for every mechanism within the body. So if you think about all the different systems in the body, the various nervous systems, from the autonomic nervous system, the parasympathetic, the sympathetic nervous system, central nervous system, we have immune system, we have hormonal systems, we have digestive systems, cognitive systems. The list goes on. And so if there's tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of processes and interactions that happen, this is at the absolute lowest level. And so we need to start from there to make sure that the machine is working properly. So if the machine is working properly, all of our efforts and focus about what kind of workouts we're doing, or how much grams of carbohydrates upstream, those more macro issues really are predicated on how the body's actually working across all those systems, and it really does come down to micronutrients. So water soluble cannot be stored in the body for very long. Obviously, whatever we don't need or the body can't put to use is flushed out in whichever way you decide to do it. We've got vitamin C and obviously the B group vitamins. Fat soluble can be stored in the body for a little bit longer in fat cells, and also in muscle tissue. We store some fat in the muscle tissue as well. So we've got A, D, E, and K. So what do you need to know? What you need to know is, obviously, we want to make intelligent food choices, getting a broad spectrum of good quality foods, rich in vitamins and minerals, and supplementation. In our pursuit of that optimal health and vitality, this is our optimal daily stack. Now, this is built on an understanding of working with lots of functional medical practitioners, the doctors who are responsible for trying to make sure you get the most out of your health and offset disease, and what they see in terms of the diagnostics from blood work. What are the correlations between chronic deficiency and certain types of disease? So B complex, taking a recommended dosage. And B complex is going to cover your 8 essential B group vitamins. The reason we say recommended dosage, I can't understand every single product that's possibly out there, but there is an assumption that if it's a B complex, which is made up just of the B group vitamins, that this is like the Rolls Royce of multivitamins, even though it's just B complex, and that unless there's a specific focus on a specific B group, maybe immune system support with B6 or nutrient assimilation with B12, that taking a good B complex is like a no-brainer, really good idea to include on a daily basis. Vitamin D, now we get this from synthesizing sunlight, but there's some problems. Most of us don't get enough sunlight. If you've got darker skin, you need more. If you're a bigger person, you need more. And so in my conversations with functional experts, one of the things that I hear a lot is if there was one pill, potion, remedy that they could give to everybody, it would be vitamin D, because of it really acts a lot more like a hormone, but it's so important to hormone production, and so many different other pathways in the body, that deficiency in vitamin D is responsible, along with other things, for a lot of chronic disease that we find today. So vitamin D at 5,000 IU. Again, when it comes to our pursuit of optimal health and well-being, the recommended daily allowance or intake from the FDA in the US is 600. So here I am, like a crazy person, telling you to take 5,000. You can't even buy a tablet less than 1,000 IU. So manufacturers are well ahead of the FDA. So most tablets you find are 1,000, 2,000, 5,000 or 10, and 5,000 is a pretty good fit for most people in terms of a range to keep the vitamin D levels adequate or optimal. And vitamin C, that's probably about the upper limits, about 2,000 milligrams per day. So there you go, guys. That's a quick little overview of vitamins, differentiating between water soluble and fat soluble. One thing I want to leave you with, when it comes to intake of this, one of the questions I get a lot is, when should I take this, or when should I take that, or I missed 3 days. First of all, when it comes to frequency, day by day, this all works off cellular saturation, right? So having an adequate amount in the body more often than not. If you miss a day or a week, it makes no difference. The idea is that if you are deciding to supplement it on top of an intelligent, broad spectrum cyclical diet, that you do so more often than not. If you get a day or two, no problem. Second thing is timing throughout the day. Now, fat-soluble vitamins will be absorbed better in a fat-containing meal, but they're also usually in fat themselves. So vitamin D is an oil-based structure. So my 2 cents, just get them in. It is completely impractical to have 400 alarms in your phone going off throughout the day about when to take zinc or when to take zinc's mineral, but when to take vitamin C versus when to take this, when to take that. Put them all in a little pouch along with your minerals and get them in. If it's first thing in the morning, it's throughout the day. As long as you're getting them in daily, you're good to go. Whatever's practical for you. Hope that helps, guys, to explain the roles of vitamins, how important they are at making sure our machine is optimized and every little function mechanism within the body from the smallest levels up is working properly. So these big macro things like how often should I train and what style should I train actually have relevance, because if the machine's not working properly, it's like having a brand new Bugatti and then taking crowbars to it and breaking everything and then wondering why it doesn't perform properly on the track. We need to fix the machine, keep the machine well oiled and well tuned, and then all the big factors about exercise frequency and nutrition types is going to have way more impact because the machine's working as it was designed to work. Hope that helps.